Am I a little late with your breakfast this morning? Hi, Mart. You don't have to pull a car out for me this morning.
No, but I gotta read my meters.
That's right, I seen you heading under the house. All right. It's quite chilly, actually. I don't see Stripe. I have to call him. Everyone is here now. Yep, conditions from the treehouse are a bit chilly this morning. I think I will be starting off my walk with a little jacket on. Something I can wrap around my waist and take off if I get too hot. Everybody's here. They're just eating a little bit. Hi, Slate. How you doing this morning, sweet pea? She goes, I've really found out I like the front porch again. Now that I know there's a heating pad up here for me. That's what I found it. I like. I think we're gonna have to add a third heating pad over here, because what I found is that the girls are taking the two chairs and not sleeping together, and then Panther's not getting a heating pad, and Panther's the one that needs the heating pad. So I guess we'll be ordering another one. Hey, sweet pea. Hi, honey. Hi, Slate. Well, let's hope we have more power this morning. I need some energy on our walk. Thank you. I see Stripe is getting ready to go in the chair under the carport for the day. That's where he's sleeping right now. That's his current favorite sleeping spot. Well, we're out here what amounts to our usual time. We get up at 7:30 if we're on a virtual day, or even on the weekend now, and that usually gets us out the door by about 8:45. Don checks in at work. I take care of kitties, do a couple household chores, and then we get on out here. I'll have to figure out where I'm going to drive to today, Donnie, to keep up my miles and my safe driving score. Poor Jules needs me to take her someplace because she's still stuck in the 80s after Don's original driving experience. And you had 100 for safe driving yesterday for 1 mile on the car, and half of the 1 mile I drove. Because you can tell which driver profile drove what. Because you know it's not very far down here. And no, I haven't been back to clean this up yet, but it's on my list. It's on my list. So this is what's making me and Johnny sneeze right now. That would be what they call goldenrod or ragweed. And we're both definitely allergic. Don and I have done our first 2 light pole run. Get things started. We've both got on a long sleeve something. I didn't remember to look at what the temperature was. I'm going to tell you it was in the low 50s. I can just tell you by how cool I was out there with the kitties this morning. But oh, what a joy to be outside with the kitties and not have to worry about mosquitoes. They may be out later today, but they're not out right now.
All I was saying, you know, Elon really needed to get the Cybertruck date right. Him and I got a couple things in common. Elon and I, you know, I have shook Elon's hand, by the way. He's a guy, I'm a guy. He's lousy with dates, and I'm lousy with dates, making dates. So, you know, kindred spirits.
Yeah, something like that. We were just really wishing the Cybertruck would get out there before the market, and we just need it. We just feel like we need it.
Right. Well, Rob, oh God, the Tesla Daily guy, he said that there could be really positive news. A big beat is his words for third quarter here. And then I was saying, well, if they get Austin starts producing in the 4th quarter, and Germany, I turn out to be wrong, and Germany actually ships cars.
Ever produces anything, yeah.
Remember, I'm officially on record that no Teslas will ever be produced in that gigafactory in Germany. That's basically not in before now in 2025.
Right, I guess it's not never, but they're going to hold it back so long
yeah.
that we'll never, you can turn around now, yeah. That we're not ever going to see the benefit out of it that we would have seen.
Right.
Yeah.
And so assuming they start producing, then that means the 4th quarter could be a real barn buster, and that, you know, really positive. But I think the Cybertruck would have put that over the edge on top of everything else.
Yeah, well, I guess during this time, I hope that Tesla is doing everything they can to beef up the service and delivery gallery infrastructure, because it doesn't do us any good to deliver all these vehicles and then folks get frustrated because, you know, they need to schedule a service appointment and for something they consider really important, and it's 2 or 3 weeks out.
Right.
I hear things on Facebook, well, I can't get anyone on the phone at the service center. In some cases, they won't answer my email. You know, my 12-volt battery needs to be replaced. I got the message up on the screen. I'm just going to show up at the service center and ask nicely or not so nicely for them to bump me at the head of the line. And I think I said this a year ago in the app, and you can put in text, but in the app, you really need to be able to set a priority of this repair to you, because there's many a time where, oh, I got a loose piece of trim, can you get out here sometime in the next month and fix it for me? Versus the, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get back into my car and I got to get my kid to school tomorrow. Please come fix my 12-volt today or tomorrow. You know, it can't wait. I think people would feel better. Even if you can put it into text, I still think people would feel better if you could set a priority for the repair. And hopefully a lot of owners that don't feel the repair is urgent would say so, as to let others that have a more critical need bump higher in the line. But they got to get that under control. So I realize it's not exactly a lull in the US with the Model Y being delivered hot and furious there, but we need to beef that up too. There's all these moving parts going on, all these moving parts. So I just want to mention again that Don and I unfortunately are not able to watch as many YouTubes as we were able to watch when he wasn't working. Obviously we're not piled up on the couch taking a nap for 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon watching YouTubes in between napping, because he's working so hard. And I typically don't watch without him, and he typically doesn't watch without me, although because Johnny's also started back to Taekwondo in the evenings, which I'm glad he's in person, don't misunderstand that for a minute. But then that time when we would watch videos together, we're also sort of not able. So we get our video watched and Rob Maurer and maybe a Monroe Live, but typically on the weekends, and maybe something else. But we're not able to watch as many. So we're trying to keep up though with Tesla News as best as we can, and Rob does such an excellent job. But the other thing I wanted to say is I'm a little worried about how the FSD beta to normal people rollout is going to work. And part of that concern comes because I used to manage the beta program for our mainframe product at IBM, and it would go out to, I don't know, if we were lucky we could get 20 good customers to test our enterprise level product, and some of them would be world trade and some of them would have thousands of seats, and that would help us do a pretty decent job. It would definitely enhance what we were able to do in-house. And what would happen is we would have a critical problem with one of these customers. I would have to go get one of our developers to help and pull them off of whatever line item they were working on. You know, level 2 would do the best they could, but development was heavily involved. It wasn't a normal level 2, it wasn't a normal support thing, it was a beta thing. So it took a lot of resources, what I'm trying to say. Don says that you know, he thinks that the standard people, maybe a few extra bodies, are just going to be looking at the data and they're not really going to be listening to direct FSD beta feedback, at least not like they were with the handful of people they started out with. Like, I know Zeb was one of the early people and he was actually able to email communicate, send the logs, send pictures, stuff. I'm just suspecting we're not going to get to that level of detail. Like if I have something I really want to report, I'll be able to report it, but just think about the amount of stuff that might take Tesla, the resource that might take. So anyway, I'm just wondering about that too while I was wondering about service. Well, you guys know, time will tell what'll really happen or what really won't happen. All of us Tesla people on YouTube, we can voice an opinion, but we don't really know. We don't have any inside information. We can speculate based on our personal experience, but we don't really know. Time will tell. Again, I'm really hoping this will be a positive for Tesla, and that the people that get picked are people that can handle it. The feedback Tesla gets, they can respond to, whether it's just data feedback or actual person feedback, in a way that's helpful and, you know, shaping the software up to a more final state. You know, I have nothing but positive vibes toward Tesla and trying to make this program be a success, whatever that entails.
You ready?
Yep.
5,712 steps, 48 minutes 20 seconds, 2.71 miles, and $17.50 per mile.
How did we do that?
I don't know, because
the time. Well, I mean, I'm happy with $17.50, but the time is up at over 50 minutes. Like the other day, it was at 48 or 47, and then we were in the 19-second range. So I don't get that pace thing, but it's, you know, it's a approximation.
Yeah.
We just measure from day to day. We ran 4 times today and not 5, because my heart rate was good, but also some of the segments were longer. So
I agree. All right, I'm gonna run back to the house. Kiss, kiss.
Kiss, kiss, Donnie. He's got a 10 a.m. today that he's hosting, which is an hour earlier than his normal hosting. So we, you know, we're trying to make sure we stayed on target today with our pace and stuff, so he's back in time to shower and, you know, not be in a rush. I tried to explain to Johnny yesterday, one of life's lessons is if you're not running late, you'll be less stressed in life. Plan accordingly, especially events that can be stressful, like him having to host this call. Can be a stressful thing. You don't want to be showing up 1 minute before and then have a problem and then get, you know, you gotta give yourself a little comfort there. So no trail this morning. We wondered why. This virtual thing affecting Johnny should not be affecting any of the other Wake County students, because it was an SAU thing. And by the way, Johnny was up at 7. We briefly heard him very quietly go to his computer TV room and from his bedroom. It's like he has his own little apartment on the other side of the house over here. And he got on school on time. By the time we left and I went in to say good morning, he said that he'd completed his first class and all was good so far. So yeah, this is kind of a hush hush wink wink. You can be virtual after the proclamation from the official WCPSS that the students had to report. I'm glad somebody has a head on their shoulders and saw the light. Johnny said it was really boring yesterday doing the college work up there on the Chromebook. It wasn't helpful to him in any way, and I'm sure I totally agree with that. He says now that he's been in person and having also been virtual, that he likes both. They both have pros and they both have cons, and I'm going to agree with him. So I certainly would hope that SAU would really go back in person next Wednesday after this 1 week hiatus, which we still don't fully understand if it's COVID related, but one would assume. They had homecoming like a week ago, and then they decided to go virtual for a week. It makes total sense it's COVID related, but we really don't know. It's not like we had any explanation as to why things were happening. And I'm not upset about the week, just about the having to drive him in yesterday. That's the only thing that really upset me. Don't jerk us around with, you can stay home, now you got to come in, now you don't have to come in. But it wasn't the local school administration's fault. So I'm certainly in no way distressed with them, and it's working out for us. It was fine. that he went in yesterday. And if he needs to go in Monday and they change it again, you guys know I'll take him in Monday. It's certainly nothing Johnny's done or hasn't done. And fully dedicated to his education success, and whatever works best for him works best for me. But if he was going to be up there today and all of his friends stayed home, which seemed likely, according to the intel he got, there's just no reason for him to be up there in the classroom on the Chromebook trying to take a class with earbuds in. I am able to get the card unlocked just by sort of putting my hip near the door where my card is. I'm not having to take it out or lift it higher or anything, so that's good. I'm just out here spending some time with these guys, loving that there's no mosquitoes to worry about. I was loving on Stripe and giving him some personalized attention, and then Marty came over and then Morris came over. Which thankfully all three of these guys always get along at this point. There's never any fussing between them. Even if Marty shoves somebody away from the food bowl, they don't fuss. They just kind of tolerate him. Hey, Striper. He goes, okay. Hi. I really like those Sterilite bins for my Lego stuff. The clear lets me see what's in them. The handles make sure the lids stay on tight. I don't like the containers that don't have snappable lids. It's worth the extra money to me. But I haven't been able to buy any more. And Walmart finally last night got in these, which of course are dark colored. But at any point I got to clean up this and shuffle through what's in the closet and what's out here. And I probably have 1 or 2 bins of things that I'm not going to use anytime soon that I'm going to carry upstairs in the attic. I hate to put Legos up there, but I probably am. And I'm going to make sure all the stuff I'm going to use is in the closet, and I'm going to make sure that these stay here, but this other stuff's got to go. So before I let myself work on my building this morning, I'm going to do what I need to do. I did, sometime in the last few days, build the chair. The parts for the floor and the windows, they haven't, coming from 2 separate places, haven't come yet. One of the shipments, I think the windows are due tomorrow. Sometimes things have been actually showing up early right now, so we'll see. The floor could certainly show up today. But anyway, once I get this taken care of, then I've got to work on furniture, because I have a full morning's worth of furniture stuff to do for the first floor. I don't think I showed you guys, but these are the cute minifigures I came home with, the ones for the gingerbread house I'm going to build. And then this is a parts pulled from the parts that they had, minifigures, but this is a kit they had. And look at the little girl costume. She has on a black cat top. And I think the little tiger costume is pretty cool too. So I'll put them where they all need to go. It's just after 2:30, so late in the day to be going out in Ruby. I got all of my Legos put where they're supposed to be, better stored. Things were shuffled today versus sorted, but it was a good shuffle, and there was a little sorting that took place, and I got that all done. Ruby says it's 78 out there. That may still adjust a little bit, but that's got to be close. The sky is blue and filled with puffy cotton ball clouds. It's very pretty. If I had driven to downtown this afternoon, it would have been one of those gorgeous fall afternoons for a drive. I'm just going to swing by Guardian Angel for a few minutes, and I need to mail something at the post office that I've put off far too long. And I guess Main Street's still closed, but I was sort of interested to see, you know, what it was looking like downtown, because there were a couple days over there already extended deadline. Me, I'm gonna go straight because there are definitely ways to get around it. I don't know why until, I guess for through traffic, you know, take Judd Parkway, which was to the right there. But it's all right turns for me, Guardian Angel and the post office, if I make the loop through downtown and come this way. So that's what I'm doing. I would like to have worked on my Lego house some today. It just didn't happen, at least not yet. Although I gotta take Johnny to Taekwondo and cook a Boston butt in the Instant Pot for dinner and spend some time with Don when he gets off work, so I'm not sure it's gonna happen today. But my windows are actually arriving early. They should be in the mailbox when I get back. So I'll have those, and as possible the floor pieces could show up today too. And that would be nice to sit down and actually have everything that I need to move forward. Well, you know what? It almost looks to me like it's open. I guess that would be nice if it were open for the weekend, or open before Friday night. This is very busy through here with the little bars and taverns and restaurants, and it's open. Well, I guess they'll eventually get that sign back there that says Main Street is closed. So let's see what they've done, if we've got a metal plate, if we've got, I know there was a lot of dirt in the middle of the road here. Yeah, you can see where they went across the road there. It's bumpy. Yeah, that was my concern. I told Don, as I said, they're gonna have gone across the road and it's Main Street and everybody drives it, and it's gonna be rough. And it's gonna be rough for like a year until they might consider repaving it. But I get it. If they paved it today, then they would realize they needed to dig it back up again tomorrow. So I do get that. Well, if I needed another big platter, that would definitely be the one I would be getting. Just in case I want to decorate Ruby, that would be a yes. I found some Terrell, but they only have 2 of them. Wouldn't those be perfect for Thanksgiving? There was a child out front of Taekwondo, not one that I've seen before. I'm not familiar with this particular person. And anyway, she was like, "Oh, I like your Tesla." And then Johnny got out and I shut the door for him. And she was like, "Oh, did that door shut off by itself?" And then I opened up the Falcon wing and, oh my goodness, look at that. I'm guessing she was 10. I'm guessing. It was really cute. I was happy to talk with her. You know, I like kids. I always stop for the kids. Well, I always stop for the adults too, but you know, I've even got more motivation to stop for the kids. I was really into organizing and doing stuff with my Legos, and I really didn't want to have to stop to bring Johnny to Taekwondo tonight, but Don worked. He just got off and he's exhausted. So I brought Johnny out. You know, he always offers to bring him for me. But anyway, I wish I could just go home now and go back to what I was doing. But, oh, I don't know. That's not really the right thing to do. Well, I'm pretty furious with the pickup truck driver that was behind me. He was like number 7th in line in the left turn lane to come down by Walmart. I was number 6. And he lays on his horn back there because the line isn't moving and it's a flashing yellow and there are oncoming cars that have the right of way. And then we scooted up a little bit more and it's still flashing yellow and there are new oncoming cars coming. Some cars have gone, some haven't, and he lays on his horn again. I mean, and this guy was 40 something. So it's not like he doesn't understand or shouldn't understand, or is a new driver, traffic rules. Last time I checked, you can't turn left with the flashing yellow in front of oncoming traffic. As a matter of fact, I did that when I was 17 years old and got hit and totaled my large car. So I know all about following people through and not really having the right of way. Anyway, I just, you know, it just like, you gotta wonder about people. I just don't understand. I don't know what he thought we were gonna do. I guess pull out in front of cars and then block the intersection with an accident so he wasn't gonna go for a year. Now the person in front of me is upset at this person because I haven't turned. Well, it's very confusing when you don't have the right of way and it's flashing yellow arrow, and then all of a sudden while you're waiting for the cars to come and you're looking at the cars, then it goes to solid green arrow. Well, I mean, yes, you can go then, but I find that a lot of times, a lot of us people are are waiting, you know. I just worried I'm gonna rub my wheel. So yeah, what I was trying to say was there was a cement curb down there on the right, and it is basically solid black from people rubbing it because they try to squeeze through the curb and the car that's in the left lane there, and I didn't want to do that, obviously curb my wheel. So I just waited patiently for a minute. I'm sure somebody behind me was frustrated and didn't understand why I just didn't ride up over the curb and go where they wanted me to go. I did not need the horn honking. Just didn't need it. So Ruby still seems plenty clean. I'm sure Don will California duster her and do just a couple of touch-ups tomorrow morning before we head down to Fayetteville. I'm glad for him that he didn't have to wash her. And I decided I'm going to run to the house because I did buy a few things from Guardian Angel and I did not get all of that stuff unloaded and put where I wanted it to go. So in the 10 or 15 minutes I'll have at the house, that ought to be enough to take care of that. I guess he thought he got in behind me, and the guy behind me, he just was coming. I don't want to be out here during Friday rush hour traffic. Please just let me and Ruby go home. Well, the sign here now says that Main Street will be closed all day tomorrow, like 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something like that. So I guess they're not really done with whatever they were doing, but they opened it up for Friday night, which, based on what was going on Main Street back there, is probably a good idea. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to let that honker get to me so bad. I wish I could just brush stuff off, but I take everything so seriously. Just ask Don. He's been having to deal with it since 1991. Now I've got an unmarked sheriff's deputy behind me. I'm sure he thought the pretty red Tesla was probably going to take off down through the S-curve 35-mile-an-hour speed limit zone. Sorry to disappoint you back there, but no, I know better than that. You guys don't let me have any fun anywhere near town. Yep, Don was taking a nap. I got all my stuff unloaded and processed and washed and put where it was supposed to go, so I'm set for when we get home. And he had on Zach and Jesse, now you know, in depth in the background, and they were talking about the safety score. Apparently Zach had a few things to say about how he thought the criteria were not the right criteria. He said hastily thrown together. I don't know that I agree with that. The app seems to be working flawlessly, and hastily thrown together things don't work that flawless. I had some comments about whether or not I thought certain criteria were good or bad. It's not that I think any other criteria that are included shouldn't be included. It's more that I think there are a couple other things maybe they should look at, like turn signals and things along that nature. But again, we're not talking about are you really a safe driver as much as we're talking about are you the kind of driver they want to babysit the FSD beta and keep the car and you out of trouble, so that NHTSA doesn't go in and try to pull the plug, because you know they're just salivating over there ready to pull the plug on Tesla. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a last minute something that you know, they tried to do that anyway without provocation. So I don't know. Anyway, I wish I'd have had a few more minutes to watch what they were saying. Apparently Jesse does not have the best safety score. And yeah, I would say if you're not driving like grandma or grandpa, it's going to be pretty easy to get a going around a turn too fast when there's actually no danger in what you've done whatsoever. I heard them mention on and off ramps from the interstate, for example. And you know, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to find yourself in trouble. I had a pedestrian cause me to brake harder than I wanted to on Main Street when I came through, and I thought to myself, and of course they couldn't hear me and I didn't make any gestures or do anything wrong, but I thought to myself, oh God, now they've caused me to get a ding. Who knows? That's the weekly school principal's message coming through. I see you got your buddy.
Yeah, been there keeping me company.
He didn't headbutt you too bad,
No,
did he?
didn't.
Not this time?
Not this time.
Okay, that's good.
He's been a good partner.